I would like to read to you my book. It is called James Mason Long and Various Adventures of Questionably Comedic Verifiability. It is 4 chapters and about 3 pages. It is the greatest thing I've ever written, and today I published it to Wattpad. It has been sitting on my hard drive for about 6 months, and I'm finally gonna share it with the world, so let's go. Chapter 1. James. James Mason Long, a completely normal guy. There is literally nothing to him. Hey bro, did you know that I have very slight astigmatism, he'll say, whenever he doesn't have anything valuable to say, which is always. He has no special talents, speaks only one language, which is English. He wears white button-up long-sleeve shirts and black trousers. He has brown eyes, brown hair, which is medium short and combed. He has light, tan skin, like the color of those old crayons called skin color. And he never saw anything wrong with that name, because it was the exact color of his skin. James lives in Swindon, and constantly blabs to his friends online that Swindon is a twin town with Disney World, which is true, but also lame. James's favorite band is Starship, and his favorite song is We Built This City. James enjoys riding his bicycle slowly around his neighborhood and saying hello to his neighbors. That is his favorite hobby. For breakfast, every day, James enjoys oatmeal in light milk. For lunch, James eats an egg salad and a ham sandwich. Just ham. For dinner, he enjoys white rice, green beans, and a little bit of cheese. He also sometimes treats himself to the mildest curry you have ever seen in your entire life. James spends much of his free time watching BBC News and the Great British Bake Off. His favorite comedian is Rob Brydon. He also likes James Acaster, only because they're both called James. He does not like Russell Howard. For work, James goes to his office, where his job is to stamp paper. His favorite mug is a mug that says, "Mug me, I've already got one." Chapter 2. Russell Howard shows up. James was enjoying his nice glass of water when he heard a knock at the door. James doesn't have a doorbell because they're too modern. James approaches the door and opens it, and standing before him is Russell Howard, which you knew because of the chapter title. James does not like Russell Howard. Russell Howard says, "Hello, James. Mason Long?" James scowls and says, "What are you doing here, Russell Howard?" before going to close the door. But Russell puts his foot in the gap of the door and says, "James, we're gathering everyone in England born on the 23rd of March. James steps back. He didn't know Russell Howard was born on the 23rd of March. "Were you born on the 23rd of March? James asks. "Yes, the 23rd of March, 1980, Russell Howard says. "Ha! I was born on the 23rd of March, 1979. Eat that, Russell Howard, James exclaims. Russell Howard says, "Well, regardless, Mo Farah will be there." James gasps. "Mo Farah will be there?" Russell Howard nods. "Yes, Mo Farah will be there." James pauses, steps forward and says, "Yes, count me in." Chapter 3. March 23rd Club. James and Russell Howard arrive at the location, a big room in the shape of a 23, which is an extremely horrible design for a social event, but whatever. Everyone in England born on the 23rd of March is there. Russell Howard, Mo Farah, James Mason Long, and even some non-famous people like Harold Sparrow and Jackie Jackson. Everyone is talking until a bell is rung and the chatter slowly dissipates. "Thank you, everyone, for coming," says a familiar voice. James isn't sure who it is, but he manages to find a spot where he can lock his eyes on the speaker. It's none other than Andrew Mitchell, MP for Sutton Coldfield. Oh, James hates Andrew Mitchell. James hates a lot of people. "Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Andrew Mitchell. I will be the host of this gathering of all March 23rders. The sound of several doors swinging open as people leave is then heard. Anyway, have fun, guys. There's beer. The sound of several doors swinging open as those people return is then heard. James approaches the beer table and accidentally runs into Mo Farah. "Oh my god! It is Mo Farah!" James says. And Mo Farah is all like, "I was on Taskmaster." And Russell Howard is like, Yeah, well, so was I. And then Phil Wang was like, so was I. And he was then escorted out by security because he was born on January 22nd. And then Ryan Day shows up and he's all like, hi, I'm Ryan Day, Welsh snooker player. And then he is escorted out by security for being born in Wales instead of England. And then someone points out that Mo Farah was born in Somalia, but Andrew Mitchell says, yeah, but I like Mo Farah. Um, ooh, um, Hi, I'm Damon Albarn. I make a music, he says in a bad Italian accent for some reason. James says, hey, why are you doing a bad Italian accent? And Damon Albarn is all, I don't know. Anyway, then a man in a cloak approaches James, Russell Howard, Mo Farah, Andrew Mitchell, and Damon Albarn and says, I need you five to do something for me. But no one else can hear. Come with me. So they follow the cloaked man, and Phil Wang and Ryan Day come too, because the more the merrier. What do you need us to do? All seven ask in unison. After a long pause, the cloaked man says, well, first of all, never do that again. But also, I need you to burglarize and plant listening devices in the Democratic National Committee headquarters at Washington, D.C.'s Watergate complex on June 17, 1972, so we can steal the election and get Nixon reelected to prevent President George McGovern from starting World War III. Get this time machine! All seven men instantly climb into the time machine. Oh, I'm so excited, Andrew Mitchell says. Oh, and one more thing, the cloaked man says. You never saw me, he emphasizes, before removing his cloaked hood and revealing himself to be Dwight D. Eisenhower. Of course, Mr. President, whatever your name is, James says, before the time machine gets sent back to 1972. Chapter 4. Watergate. The seven men perfectly pull off the plan, and don't get caught until the very end. When they do get caught, the news of 7 people breaking into the Watergate results in worldwide news, and people have such various reactions as, holy moly, 7 British people just broke into Watergate? I gotta vote for Richard Nixon. And, what the actual hell is going on? And, I like cheeseburgers, I'm an American, yee-haw. In the end, Richard Nixon is elected, and he says, I may still be the president, but that doesn't change the fact that I hate Russell Howard. And everyone is like, Russell Howard won't be born for another 8 years. And Nixon is like, damn it, Eisenhower, why'd you give me that time machine? And Eisenhower shows up and is all like, do it. And uses his force lightning on Obi-Wan Kenobi. And everyone is like, and Star Wars won't come out for another 5 years, so that reference doesn't make any sense. And then I, the author, am all like, why are you trying to find some sense in this stupid book? The end.